It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Happy Wednesday. I'm Tyler Keefe, and happy Wednesday to you as well. Kevin McIntosh joining me each and every day. Kevin.
Per usual, Tyler, I am happy to be here, see your beautiful smiling face. Another day, another opportunity to talk to the community, and we got a lot to get to, Tyler.
Yeah, it's been a busy week so far and an exciting week so far in greater West Bloomfield. Much of the same to continue on as we get into the latter half of this week. But Kevin, all eyes have been on the West Bloomfield High School football team as we are now, as of tomorrow, 2 weeks away from kickoff.
And exactly, West Bloomfield High School Laker football program is undergoing real good process right now to kind of kick things off. And they're actually doing a special lock-in event to kind of get all of their teammates on the same page. And I actually paid them a visit at the West Bloomfield High School yesterday to get an inside look on their lock-in event. West Bloomfield High School's football team kicks off the new season with a special lock-in event. It's more than just a night of bonding. It's the start of their journey to a state championship, starting with the OAA Red Division, one of Michigan's toughest football divisions, which West Bloomfield is the preseason favorite to win.
And first and foremost, it's humble to be recognized as one of the top teams in our league. And to keep that, obviously, you got to put the work in. Going back to work where it starts in the weight room, being strong, being able to move guys in this strong, powerful conference, and then translating that over to the field. Got to move guys in between those lines and be powerful while doing that.
But until it's time to hit that gridiron, the coach's plan is to lock in with a school lock-in event.
Oh, the lock-in's been pretty good so far. We got here Sunday evening, 8 o'clock was check-in time. Everybody was here on time. Got a set of rules, regulations, and stuff for the kids to follow. So we've been getting up right around 5:30 every day in the morning for 6 a.m. team run. So we did some competitive drills yesterday where the defense actually won, so we did not have to get up for the a.m. run this morning. But some of the guys still chose to go out there and get some extra reps, and that's kind of what we expect as the leaders of our team, being defensive guys, is to try to get extra reps whenever we can. Team camp is going perfect, though. A lot of work. We're kind of spooling up to getting into a little bit of tackling, which we're going to do tomorrow when we get put on the shoulder pass. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to getting some thug going. The anticipation is looming. Everybody's talking smack to one another, so I'm looking forward to it.
And the players have shown they are just as eager, sharing some of their personal goals for the season, as well as how they believe the lock-in event fosters team unity.
I feel like the lock-in is helping us build strength and mindset together. I feel like that is helping my teammates and everybody just come together and be stronger mentally and physically. And also I feel like it's bringing like a friendship and a bond to the team. As like, you know, we sleep together in a gym and we live together, going through all the trials and tribulations of like being tired, being like sore, and just outside being in the hot, running around.
Being in tense situations with your teammates can build camaraderie, but contrary to popular belief, the workouts haven't been the hardest part of the camp.
Hardest part probably is the sleep. The sleep, man. We got air mattresses or whatever, but it's hard to sleep on the air mattress in the gym where it's actually really cold in the gym, if I'm gonna be honest, but it's hard to sleep with an air mattress in the gym with 100 people around you. You don't know, everybody up, we up late and all that, you know how it gets, man.
Even though their sleeping arrangements aren't as luxurious and comfortable as they're used to, the student athletes still find a way to make the best of their situation.
Best part, I would say, building a bond with the guys, for sure. Building a relationship with the team, kind of just being in here with everybody, practicing 2 times a day and just, you know, having a good time, working out, all that on the field. And then, I mean, it's really no bad parts. We get to be here, maybe just the 2 practices, but it's really nothing that we haven't done before, yeah.
As the day winds down, West Bloomfield's football team is more united and prepared than ever. With the season ahead, they're ready to tackle the competition and live up to their preseason ranking. It was a great experience for me also, Tyler, just being there, being in the atmosphere, talking to the coaches, talking to the players. It seemed like it was I'm not even going to say a lot of fun. A little bit of fun with a bit of hard work. But overall, I think we're expecting great work from our West Bloomfield Lakers on the gridiron this season, Tyler.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough season for the Lakers. 9 teams on their schedule. All 9 of them made the playoffs in 2023. 4 of those teams won at least 3 of those playoff games. And Southfield A&T is the defending champions out of the OAA. So they got a really tough schedule ahead of them. And it all starts in 2 weeks. Thursday, August 29th, right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. 7 o'clock kickoff, about 6:30 for the pregame festivities, with This Week in Laker Football just before that on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Chippewa Valley Big Reds come into town. It's also family fun night with those festivities beginning at 5 o'clock. As always, keep up to date with West Bloomfield Laker football all across our social media all season long. An exciting time of the year as the L Boys get ready to kick off fall football in Greater West Bloomfield. Kevin, from the football field to our local library, as we've talked about so much over the past month or so. For 25 years, the West Bloomfield Library has had a special relationship with the Higashura Library out of Awaji City in Japan. And recently, they culminated that celebration a couple weeks long with the library being visited by their friends from Higashura Library over the late portions of July and early portion of August with a celebration for Matsuri Day, a festival in Japan that was brought here to West Bloomfield at the main library. Plenty of fun activities, including a Banadori dance by Sakura Japanese instrumental group, as well as traditional games and crafting and Japanese tea ceremonies, also from the Japan Society of Detroit Women's Club. Plenty of fun events, a lot of great learning experiences, and another way for our library to interact with their longtime friends from across the globe in Japan, celebrating 25 years of that special relationship and getting to see a little bit of a broader look at some of our local cultures here in Greater West Bloomfield and those connected to us across the world. Kevin, really cool experience.
Yeah, really nice. And I saw some of the photos of them. Not only were they right here in our area, but they actually toured like great spots in Detroit, Comerica Park, and went to a few other spots. So I'm happy that some of the students from Japan actually came here and had a chance to experience not only the greatness of the West Bloomfield Township Library, but also the greatness of Metro Detroit in general. It's just good to see that.
Yeah, we had a great chance to be out there for some of their celebrations earlier on as they welcomed those students in for their exploration of our community and of the Detroit area. And then, of course, as you said, all those experiences they got to have here in America, of the American experience, of the Detroit experience, the metropolitan area experience. And now we get a little bit of that over that past weekend for the Matsuri Day celebration at the library. But Kevin, tonight from Japan to the old ballpark downtown, a Detroit Tiger legend will be at the main library in the meeting room. A chance for baseball fans to head out and learn a little bit about those 1984 World Series champion Detroit Tigers. Legend Lance Parrish, as well as sports writer Tom Gage, will be there to talk about their book, The Enchanted Season, a big look back at the 1984 Detroit Tigers and that World Series victory. I'll get to hear about the book, both from Lance Parrish and from Tom Gage, talk with them a little bit about their book and trade some stories from back in the glory days of the Detroit Tigers. And then afterward, if you'd like a copy of that book, they'll be available for sale from one of our local bookstores, Schuler Books, right up the street on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield. Will be selling copies as well. For more information on this event and others coming up at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library very soon, West Bloom LIB on Facebook, or of course you can visit their website to register for these and other events on wblib.org. Kevin, a rare opportunity for baseball fans to have an exciting night at the library and enjoy some stories of, well, maybe some better times for Tigers fans.
1984 championship, 40 years ago. I'm willing to bet like that time just goes by so fast. So I know for everybody that celebrated that was there, this is just great nostalgia for them to kind of get that those memories back and everything like that. So I like to see that. It's before my time, but it's still celebrating greatness right here in the Metro Detroit area.
And as we talk about celebrating greatness, we know that the Olympic Games recently wrapped up in Paris, but on August 28th, they continue. The Paralympic Games will kick off in Paris. Those also happen every 4 years, coinciding with the traditional Summer Olympics. But a little bit of that spirit is also right here in the Metro Detroit area. The Paralympic dance competition, a para dance competition, para dance competition came to the Dearborn area this year for the worldwide competition, and some of the people bringing home the hardware are from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. You may recognize Tamerlan Gadarov and his partner Cheryl Angelelli, who are both from the Fred Astaire dance studio right here in West Bloomfield. They took home the silver medal in international standard and bronze in freestyle showcase divisions at that competition. If you've watched the show regularly, Tamerlan Gadarov was on the program previously to talk about some of his other competition wins from out of our local Fred Astaire dance studio, and this time bringing home getting on the podium and bringing home both silver and bronze along with his partner Cheryl Angelelli at this competition. Kevin, our community representing well on the dance floor.
I love to see that right there too. Especially a special event for people who are with special needs and just need that type of assistance, I should say. But it's great that it's highlighting their abilities and also rewarding them and getting them the gold medals also. I love to see it, especially bringing it home locally.
Yeah, there are no limitations when it comes to athletics. There's only obstacles to overcome and how you overcome them. And a great example of that from Cheryl Angelelli, and a great example also in helping those along in those efforts in dance and something they love to do from Tamerlan Gadarov over at the Fred Astaire Dance Studio. Learn more and show them your congratulations commenting on their post on Facebook at Fred Astaire West Bloomfield MI. Congratulations to them. Kevin, as we get ready for the school year coming up, back to school is on everybody's mind right now, and as we get ready for that, also a lot of focus recently with all the car shows in our community, with the Woodward Dream Cruise coming up. A look into STEAM education, science, technology, arts, engineering, and math.
No, great point, Tyler. As we start to slide right back into the school year in our old systems, we're talking about systems and programs that help our children advance in their education and give them a little bit of head start in the real world also. Like you said, the STEAM program being one of them. So join us here live on The Splash to talk a little bit more about the STEAM program within the West Bloomfield School District. We're being joined by Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, and Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn. Thank you both for being here.
Us today. We're really excited to be on board, and we are super stoked for the school year to get going. We cannot wait to get kids in our buildings and just feel that vibe and buzz that is the start of the school year.
Thank you. So we kind of broke it down a little bit already, but let's have you break it down officially. What is STEAM program? We know it's an acronym. Just break that down and how you all actually service STEAM right here in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get started, then I'll kick it over to Amy because she is the absolute expert, especially when it comes to STEAM at the elementary level. So one of the things in our school district that we're so proud of are all the opportunities and platforms and avenues and pathways that our kids have, especially at the high school level with all of our advanced placement programming, with our CTE programming, our theater, athletics. One of the great niches that we have at the high school as well is a Project Lead the Way STEAM program. Students have to meet criteria to be able to get into it, and it just gives them an opportunity to learn and have access to, like we talked about, science, technology, engineering, arts, math, project-based learning that gives them a glimpse of what they might be able to do into their future. We also have that Project Lead the Way programming and STEAM programming at the middle school level. So as we transition this year into 4 K-5 elementary buildings, which is a significant shift from our past when we had K-2, 3, 5 buildings, we asked ourselves the question, what would it look like if we provide that elementary experience, same kind of pathway as the middle school and high school, so that we can create that vertical alignment and give kids an eye and a window into their future? What would it look like if they said, oh, I can do that at middle school, or I can do that at high school, and then beyond, I can do this in real life. So that's basically the premise of the program. At the elementary level, like I said, we're utilizing Project Lead the Way curriculum, and I'm just going to let Amy talk a little bit about some of the exciting units of study that our kids K through 5 are going to have the opportunity to experience.
Thank you.
Okay.
So looking at Project Lead the Way, something that is very unique about it is the students are able to really have some like hands-on experience through activities, but then put it together with problem solving, really kind of transfer all of their learning into some kind of project.
Okay.
So we're focusing on computer science and engineering for our modules during our S.T.E.A.M program. And one example would be they're actually creating a video game. And they're actually creating different things on Scratch Junior. So they understand all of the components of coding, first starting with an unplugged project to really understand what that means, and then apply it to something such as creating their own game.
That's a really good
Interesting. Creating video games. Yeah, that is wow. Wow, that is something that you can automatically draw people. I mean, especially the youth. You're combining something that all kids or the youth like in video games and technology, and then you're making it educational also. I think that is the greatest way to integrate education into the things that our students like and capture their attention. So great explanation right there. Kind of going back to you real quick, Amy, I'm curious about this. My own brain going off again. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. The only thing that kind of stands out to me in that is art. It's not like math or science, technology, engineering, which all require some type of formal education and math and things of that nature. Tell me why art is just as important as the rest of those.
Yes, I love that question. So when you look at art, art is how we design things, how the user is going to use something or how the product is going to look. And so whenever we do create something and design something, art is important. And so in every project that they do, they talk about the whole design, creative expression, different ways to really show things through art.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, Amy. And what a great question. I even think too, you think about the visual sense of art, the design aspect of art, but even thinking about the arts in general, you can make that connection to language arts, right? We all know the importance of being able to write well and read well and using that across content areas and across different disciplines to be able to master your craft, right? So it's so important for our kids to make those connections across the curriculum and across what they may experience in their lives as effective readers and writers and designers.
We love to see that and hear that also. And encouraging art. Trust me, I love art and everything that has to do with it. So I love that you're encouraging that. And with us right here on the Splash Live, talking about the STEAM program within West Bloomfield School District, Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, as well as Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn, just talking about STEAM and its importance with all of the elements involved also. So kind of getting back to you, Scott, do you have any specific examples of success stories from students or people that have attended some of your STEAM programs?
Yeah, so like I said, the elementary, this is the first start. So we're going to see those experiences and success stories. But what I can tell you is this last year, I walked into a middle school classroom, Project Lead the Way STEAM program, and the designs and the things that our students are doing. So for example, one of the things I saw was they were making a prosthetic leg to help people in the real world. And I'm walking around the classroom and just looking at kids' designs, and they're explaining how they designed it to help the patient, and just the level of thinking that involved, and how proud they were to show off their project to an audience and to myself. Their eyes just light up. Or another great example is they're at the middle school level, they're creating an app, and the app is really just designed to be able to give people access to like health opportunities or consumer opportunities. They're coding it, they're doing the aesthetic design, and they're really thinking about problems in the community and how to meet the needs of consumers in the world. And again, the way that they light up when they're engaged in those activities, that breathes life into me as an educator and as a person helping lead the district.
I love that right there. I love that. It's so, like we said, it's just so important for kids to see that, to make that connection, make it fun also, and I love the fact that you all are actually combining all of that together. So such a great thing. Amy, asking you real quick, I've been hearing video game development, app development, things of that nature, and I'm also hearing that there's different levels of the STEAM elementary, middle, high school. I know we talked about, like we said, video games and the middle schoolers designing apps. What type of things are the elementary school kids doing also? I'm not sure if we touched on that.
Yeah, that'd be great to explain. And so starting in elementary, right away, they're doing some, we call it unplugged activities. So it's coding, but it's actually using arrows to program something. So they understand what that means to program something. And so we start with unplugged, and then we move right into Scratch Junior. Scratch Junior is a really fun, engaging, it's this little like sprite, I believe it's called, and that's your kind of character. And then you program the character to move certain ways. You can design a setting, a background, and you can eventually then program it to do things. And so it really breaks it down at a young age, so in kindergarten, so they understand that whole idea. And I think Scott talked about the vertical alignment, and the design process is introduced in kindergarten, and then it's continued throughout the entire program of Project Lead the Way. So that design process is going to be nice because the young students are going to know it and experience it, and they have to, kind of think things through, work together as a team, test it out. If it doesn't work, what do? You've got to improve it. So that's going to be neat.
And how awesome is it going to be when we have our high schoolers or our middle schoolers go visit the elementaries while they're in that class and show them some of the types of things that they're doing, so that kids can envision, oh, I get to do this down the road, right?
Good point.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention Jennifer Ladd's class had me come in for app creators.
Yeah.
And so they designed an app for me. And they actually had questions for me. The whole team sat down. Different students had different questions for me. If I needed an app for our literacy team, what would I want? And then they created some things. They asked for some files and some pictures, and everything that I mentioned, they designed. Then they got my feedback, and anything that I, mentioned I kind of wanted to change or I wanted to add something extra, they did it. And so it was a neat experience because the students were leading it and the students were doing what they're going to be doing in real life.
Yeah, which when you talk about like design and thinking critically and working within a group, collaborating, accessing and leveraging people's strengths within a group and really letting those shine, like those are the types of things that kids get really excited about. We know our kids love to create. And there's nothing that they like less than when they're learning something and it has no application or relevance to their lives. So when you have a program like this that gives them choice and voice, the opportunity to create and work within a group, I think it just sets kids on fire.
I think you all just really pointed out everything that we needed to know, all the benefits and why people should be a part of it. Now, if I'm reading this correct, I'm seeing that the openings have closed to sign up for the STEAM program for this school year, if I'm not mistaken. But if people are interested for next school year or just want to learn more information, Scott, start with you. Please give out that information. And Amy, any additional information for the community you want to add on after?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say in terms of our residents within the district, we have NWEA testing cycles in the fall, winter, and spring. And what we do is we're consistently reviewing that data for any student that has not yet qualified for the program. And when we identify a student that meets that criteria, we immediately reach out to the family. So we'll continue to do that this year. And then for our school of choice families that live outside of the district, we have a school of choice application window in the winter, typically opens up around December, January. Any family within Oakland County can apply. From there, we collect test scores, administer assessments, report cards, and we see if they meet the criteria and then onboard them to the West Bloomfield School District.
Nice. Amy, any additional information that we may have missed for the community?
No, we just appreciate so much sharing and we want to continue. So please look out throughout the year, some of the projects that we're doing, some of the celebrations that we have with our STEAM program, and we would love to share more.
I'd like to just say one more thing, if it's okay. I don't know if we're getting close on time here, but I want to just give a huge shout out to Amy Quinn, who has just been a cheerleader and champion for the programming at the elementary level, but also across the district, whether she's leading and supporting robotics in our school district or Lego League or just inspiring teachers. And yeah, she's amazing. And we've had some huge teacher leadership this summer as we get ready for elementary. A shout out to Shahenda Van Nostrand, Monica Hamrick, Colleen Mestog, Sophia Hanifi, Andrea Hill. They've all spent time. Tammy Tucker Whelan. How did I forget her? She's
our art teacher.
And she's one of our art teachers. And they have been so pumped up. A, do training in the summer, and B, collaborate with Amy to give the best experience for our kids. And it's greatly appreciated. They've given up time in the summer to get this thing ready to go.
We're ready.
Absolutely. Yes. And we definitely thank you and appreciate you both for all of your work, the entire staff, and definitely appreciate you for being here in general. Assistant Superintendent for Learning Services, Scott Long, and Elementary Curriculum Consultant, Amy Quinn. Thank you so much for being here talking about STEAM and West Bloomfield School District.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Absolutely. You two have a better one. And that's just a perfect example, another example of resource that we have for our youth and our school system right here in West Bloomfield, Tyler. I think it's great that they are actually providing that for our youth here.
Yeah, a chance for them to take some look into creativity and some of the technology that they'll be encountering throughout the rest of their lives, and perhaps even creating throughout the rest of their lives as well. Kevin, close to home, that science, technology, engineering, and math, and even a little bit of art goes into our local roads and designing elements of our community that have an impact on us each and every day. And there's going to be some major changes coming up, some repairs that are very necessary to our community through the Road Commission for Oakland County. Work will soon begin on a 90-year-old culvert in West Bloomfield Township. That's on Green Lake Road, just west of Green Lake Road and Commerce in West Bloomfield. Here to join us to talk about that in a little bit more detail and how community input will play a role in those ultimate plans is Craig Bryson, Senior Communication Manager for the Road Commission for Oakland County. Craig, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Tyler. Good to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this. There's going to be a discussion tonight, Wednesday, August 14th, at Gretschko Elementary School. That's 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. about this culvert in West Bloomfield. It's 90 years old. It's in need of a replacement. What is the Road Commission for Oakland County looking to learn from the community as they gain this input?
Well, really, it's more sharing information with the community. The culvert needs to be replaced. We're very restricted in what we can do by both the State Eagle Department and the West Bloomfield Environmental Commission. So we have fairly narrow parameters on what we can do. So we're just sharing with the community what our plans are. We want to hear any concerns they have, share design elements, that kind of thing. One of the main points we want to stress to the community is that this project will not change water levels either during construction or after construction. Water levels will remain the same throughout the process and after the process.
And that's got to be a big concern for people going into this discussion tonight, and why they should be out there to learn more if they do have concerns, because that particular area of West Bloomfield, an estimated 8,600 vehicles go across Commerce Road in that area daily, and that water flows directly under Commerce Road on Green Lake, from Green Lake and South Lake to flow under Commerce Road. So that's a major thoroughfare, but Craig made an interesting point. There are some parameters you have to fit within because of Eagle restrictions on the environmental side at the state level, and of course pretty stringent regulations that are in place from the Environmental Commission, famously here in West Bloomfield Township. So how do you balance that as a road commission, but between fitting within those needs at the state level and certainly even more objectively speaking tighter regulations at the local level to make sure this is a safe replacement that at the very least brings things back to par when the project is done?
Right, and that's exactly right. That's what we want to do. And of course, our goal as road agency is to make sure the road is safe. And right now, our culvert inspectors are telling us this culvert, which is far beyond its useful life, it needs to be replaced quickly. So we are, that is our goal, to get the road back functioning, to keep the water flow situation exactly as it is. And then, of course, to work closely with our friends at Eagle and at West Bloomfield Environmental Commission to make sure that what we are doing is not disruptive of the environment and is consistent with all the environmental regulations, concerns, and dictates.
Craig Bryson, the Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission for Oakland County, is with us on the Splash Live as they will have a discussion tonight, meeting with the community from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Gretschko Elementary School. That is on Greer Road in West Bloomfield Township and open to the community. About a $350,000 road commission project scheduled to begin in early 2025, replacing a culvert on Green Lake Road around the Commerce Road area, a heavily trafficked area of our community each and every day. And Craig, I'd imagine that the age of this culvert plays a role in its need for replacement, but what else is motivating this replacement and why at this time?
That is strictly at the age of the culvert that need to be replaced. We have funding to do it now, so we want to get it done when it needs to be done. These things take a number of years to plan. So as you mentioned, the work will occur next year in 2025. We're finalizing the design now. We want to share it with the community, again, get their input. But we don't want to do this in reactive mode after the culvert has collapsed. We want to replace it before we get to that point. So that's why we're moving ahead with the project today.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier on in the year after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore that, luckily in our community, we don't have those major bridges, but these culverts over our rivers and our streams, especially on major thoroughfares like Greer Road and Commerce Road, definitely are some of those that we want to maintain and prevent collapses that could really delay traffic for a long time. Now, Craig, I mentioned earlier on, this project is currently slated to begin in early 2025. What sort of traffic interruptions can the community expect in this area during that construction?
Well, it'll be a complete closure of the road. And right now, because of Eagle stream restrictions, the project cannot start before July 4th of next year. So it'll be late summer, maybe fall. And again, because we have to take out the existing culvert and completely replace it, the road has to be completely closed. So there will be a detour route in place. And people will be able to, residents in the area, businesses will be able to drive up to the culvert on either side, but they will not be able to get through the road over the area where the culvert is.
Greg Bryson is with us from the Road Commission for Oakland County as they have a discussion tonight at Gretschko Elementary School. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. is that time, 5300 Greer Road in West Bloomfield Township. For those unfamiliar, and more information on this project and more can be found on rcocweb.org. Not only the culvert replacement expected here, but also some stone riprap at the culvert to prevent erosion, new asphalt, guardrails, and more in that area. Craig, before we let you go, anything else that we should know about this project or what the community can get out of attending this meeting tonight for more information?
Right. So the one important thing about the meeting, there won't be a formal presentation. This is a meeting where our staff will be there on hand to answer questions and talk with anybody who has any interest, any specific questions. We'll be glad to answer any of those questions. We'll have design drawings on hand. We'll have all of the specifics about the design of the new culvert. So it's really an opportunity to ask any questions and to have a discussion with our design staff and get all your questions answered about this project.
More information, rcocweb.org. You can also find them on Facebook at RoadComm, Road C-O-M-M, for even more updates on this and other projects across Oakland County. Craig, thank you so much for your time as always.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to have you on. A major project coming up here in the greater West Bloomfield area, but a necessary one. So if you want to learn more information about this before it happens, you want to get yourself prepared, maybe provide some input to the Road Commission for Oakland County as they go to Eagle and they go to our Environmental Commission for these final plans. Now's a great time to do it. So again, 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. tonight, Gretschko Elementary School, that is 5300 Greer Road. And again, rcocweb.org for more updates from the Road Commission for Oakland County. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We thank you for tuning in on TV, radio, and on the web. More coming up from across our 4 communities after this short break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen.
Hi, I'm Chris Fry, Park Superintendent, West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations, Civic Center TV, on 1 million views on YouTube. Thank you for all you do in the community, and thank you for having me on The Splash throughout the season to talk about activities out in the parks. Chris Fry, proud to be 1 in a million.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
That's what white people think.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Bringing you stories and memories from West Bloomfield. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Alongside Kevin McIntosh, I'm Tyler Keefe. Thank you for joining us today and all throughout the week, of course, Kevin, that people can always find us online on civiccentertv.com for all of our latest interviews and segments from this program. Learn more about everything that's going on in the community and on our social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15 and YouTube at Civic Center TV. And Kevin, as we look outside this week, it's been nothing but sunny days. Last weekend was sunshine, a nice cool breeze. And as we get toward the fall season, we'll start to miss the summer, the beauty of our community, even though that continues all throughout the year. And for those that have moved on to other communities across our great nation and around the world, they like to take with them a little token of our community. That includes one artist from Los Angeles who will always be from Sylvan Lake.
Yes, an artist that's actually from LA, the West Coast, but actually just have so much memory and inspiration from our Sylvan Lake area that she actually displays it right on an empty canvas. So join us right here on the Splash Live to talk more about her art and her inspiration. We have Rachel Capera, a Sylvan Lake, I should say artist who has inspiration from Sylvan Lake, living in LA. And just getting into it, Rachel, if you don't mind, what inspired you to pursue your specific form of art?
My grandmother, Ingeborg Chapman, is and was a painter. And I watched her try to paint Sylvan Lake when I was a little girl. This is where I grew up. And she would paint it and then rinse away all of the colors with, because she couldn't get the color right because the sky over Sylvan Lake continues to change. And it was very, very hard for her to capture the beauty.
Oh, wow. That's a very, very interesting story. So that alone, you watching that process of her trying to capture the perfect image of Sylvan Lake, that kind of inspired you to kind of get into it. Now, can you just get into, just describe your creative process when you are getting into creating these works of art?
Well, I come home, first of all, I'm in LA and I miss Sylvan and I miss the Sylvan Lake summer all year round. And the summer rejuvenates me. So I come home and I spend time here with my kids. And then I have these moments of wonder and awe with the light is hitting the water in a certain way. And I photograph like crazy. It's like I go painting hunting and I have just hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pictures. And then I really mark the images that are that leave me radically curious about what makes it so beautiful. And then I set up my paints and I have that image on my iPad and I try to translate it as best as I can with the colors that I have.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Now, you just made me think of some stuff. So I want to just make some clarity. Are you painting on your iPad or you're taking an image from your iPad and you're painting from that?
I am looking at my iPad, but I'm not painting on my iPad. These are oil paintings. So
right. I just want to make sure. Yeah,
it's a reference photo.
Yeah, I know they have like some type of app that you can probably do oil painting, but I just want to make that sure. So you're taking the photo from your iPad and then you're painting on an actual canvas with your oil painting, correct?
Yes, correct.
There we go. And as we iron out a few technical difficulties with Rachel, she was just explaining her inspiration behind actually painting what she sees from the beauty in Sylvan Lake and things of that nature. But overall, great interview and a great way for her to express herself, Tyler.
Yes, and it's a great look at the city of Sylvan Lake from a number of different perspectives. Places we've seen a million times. One of my favorite pictures of her paintings is a painting of the bridge that takes you from takes you over to the community center side, and just getting that side view of Sylvan Lake off to the left of the frame, a little bit of the community center off to the right of the frame. It's an image we've seen a million times, whether you've driven over that way or certainly if you live in the community and you've walked up to the community center for a number of different things, and to put that into art. It's a beautiful way to display our community here in Greater West Bloomfield. It's good to hear from Rachel as she continues to bring the love of the prettiest little city in Michigan out to California and all throughout the United States and beyond. Good to hear from her as well. Kevin, right here in our community as we get ready for some fun across Greater West Bloomfield. Coming up on Friday, it's going to be the final Keego Harbor Block Party of the summer. Plenty of fun out there in the city of Keego Harbor, from art sale, plenty of good food, and even some good music from the Dudes Party Time Band. And joining us is one of the members of that band, John Hallinan, on today's edition of the Splash Live. John, glad to have you on with us on the program today.
Good to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you on as we get ready for the celebration in Keego Harbor. So as you're getting ready for Friday night, what is it about this particular outing that attracted your band to perform for the city of Keego?
Well, me and the drummer in the band, Pat Mason, we both grew up in Keego, so it holds a lot of historic value for us and a lot of good memories. So we were more than ready to play.
And so as you go out to play on Friday night and you see what's going on with these Keego Harbor block parties, what are your thoughts on this? Because in the past, there's been Keego Harbor Skate and Activity Night. That was a long-time tradition. It was one night in the late summer or early fall. Now they're doing that once a month throughout the summer. What do you think about this effort?
I think that's great to have events like this and that get kids and families out and involved and seeing some camaraderie, and even the last block party we were at, you got kids playing the tall Jenga game and food trucks and music and dancing. It was pretty cool.
What does that say, that sort of gathering, the way that the community interacts and all these different activities that are available at something like the block party, including the music? What does that really say about the identity of Keego Harbor, both now and back when you were growing up in Keego too, and how that's continued over the years?
It says that they care about their community. They're not just living there; they're involved, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, it is something that makes Keego Harbor such a special community here in Greater West Bloomfield, and why this block party has been such a celebrated event over the last couple of years since that evolution came a few summers ago after the COVID-19 pandemic. Get everybody back out and about and interacting with each other. We know that was a focal point of this. So let's get to the music. You're the guitarist for the Dudes Party Time Band that will be performing at this block party on Friday night. Tell us a little bit about the music that you provide.
Okay, well, we're a classic rock and roll band. We've been together for about 30 years. And we play Bob Seger, ZZ Top, Mustang Sally, stuff like that. We've had our own original music. We've probably got 25 to 30 songs, so we throw a couple of those in with everything else. And we have a lot of fun.
John Hallinan is with us. He is a Keego Harbor native and also the guitarist for the Dudes Party Time Band that will be performing at the Keego Harbor Block Party. That is coming up on Friday night at Rose Sorter Park, just behind City Hall. 5:30 p.m. is when it all starts. It wraps up at 8:30 p.m. Plus, plenty of good food, games, and art from Art Sale as well will be available. More information on the Block Party on Facebook at KH Parks or on KeegoHarbor.org. So John, as you get ready to play this concert, what should people be prepared for in terms of maybe some of the songs or some of the artists? You mentioned some of your inspirations that are behind the band. What can we expect to hear from your band on Friday night?
Oh, just that, Bob Seger, a little Led Zeppelin, a little ZZ Top, maybe some AC/DC, some dancing music, 2 Tickets to Paradise by Eddie Money.
And I know that artists that do covers of some of their favorite artists, they always have their favorite songs and they have their favorite songs to play. Yep. So, what are some of your favorite songs to perform with the Dudes Party Time Band?
In the past, I would have said some of the harder rocking songs, but as we've gotten older, it's so much fun to see people get out and dance. So I really enjoy playing the older, songs that get people out and moving, like 2 Tickets to Paradise or Mustang Sally or that kind of thing.
And are those the kind of songs that you find people get the most excited for? Because they're recognizable, but they're also fun.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what we can expect on Friday night, bringing that party atmosphere. So much of that comes from the music. And John, whether people recognize the songs, whether they love the artist, or they're hearing these songs for the very first time, how do you feel that music also helps to connect a community, especially one like Keego Harbor that already has so much just intrinsic motivation to be as close as they are?
Right. It's interesting. Like, you can watch a movie once or twice or maybe even 5 times, but music, you can listen to it over and over because of all the intricacies in it, whether it's the vocals or the melodies or the rhythms. And I think what it does is it ties that to our emotions, and it brings you back into earlier times, sometimes just like the car thing that happened at Gino's the other night. It just it always brings you back to times with friends or good times.
And those good times will continue on Friday night at the Keego Harbor Block Party. John, before we let you go, anything else that we should know about the Dudes Party Time Band or what we can expect from the show on Friday night?
Well, like I said, we've been together a long time. We got Pat Mason on drums and Roger McCarville on bass and Slim, Chris Kulwicki on vocals. And you can expect us to give a good performance.
More information on the Keego Harbor Block Party can be found Facebook at KH Parks. You can also learn more about how to get involved in Keego Harbor on KeegoHarbor.org. John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Appreciate it. John Hallinan from the Dudes Party Time Band. You'll be hearing him on the guitar in the gazebo at Rose Sorter Park on Friday night. Make your way out there as we celebrate summer one more time in Keego Harbor before we get into all the fun in the fall. And Kevin, not only the block party, but so many other fun activities and events through Keego Harbor Parks and Rec all throughout the summer. And really that block party is the one that brings everybody from every corner of the community with every different interest level together for something fun.
Sorry but just knowing Tyler, there's only a few elements that you need to really have a good time at a social event. You gotta have some food and you gotta have some good music. So providing great live music is just a step up from that. So artists who actually take their time to not only perfect their craft but actually do it on the stage for community and other people to enjoy. I love that. I love that. So thank you to John again for his time and his artistry and for making the community have a good time out there.
Yeah, he had me at Led Zeppelin. That piqued my interest. And I looked down at the lineup of all the other things going on there. Of course, the art sale is going to be out there. It's local artists from Keego Harbor and Greater West Bloomfield, the Lakes area, all showing off their amazing pieces. And you know what? If that doesn't convince you, a taco truck's going to be out there. Bueno's Tacos is going to be on site too, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Great food, great music, even better company with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec. Should make for a great start to the weekend before the blues of the rain come in on Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy the sunshine and even sunnier people in the heart of the lakes. Kevin, as we keep thinking about good things happening in our community, some opportunity for maybe our future leaders on the legal side, the future legal eagles of our community, got a chance to take a look behind the judges' chambers earlier on this week.
Yeah, actually doing some scrolling on the internet and social media, and we're seeing great things that our West Bloomfield High School students are doing. Specifically, the Law Club / Teen Court actually gave students a look into the justice system. West Bloomfield High School Law Club students participated in Teen Club just this summer before the Oakland County Circuit Court Judge Lisa Gorsica actually was their guidance in this entire process. Teen Court, just in case people don't know, it's an opportunity for trained students to be actual attorneys and jurors for real juvenile misdemeanor cases right here in Oakland County. Very, very rare opportunity. If you're looking on civiccentertv.com, you can see some of the summer participants that actually was there with Judge Gorsica. You can see Harshita, Judge Gorsica, Celeste, and you also see students Jordan, all their smiling faces as they pretty much wrapped up the summer teen court program. So great, interesting program for the students at West Bloomfield High School. They said if you are interested, you want to contact Mrs. Chase at West Bloomfield High School for more information. But Tyler, once again, a great program for students interested in a specific profession that can kind of get them on that straight lane right there to where they want to be.
Yeah, for those students that may be interested in law or getting a look behind the legal processes when someone goes to court or goes to juvenile court, room 206 for Mrs. Chase at West Bloomfield High School. And in that picture, we saw those students. Harshita was serving as the juror, Judge Gorsica, and Celeste was there as the judge. Of course, Celeste was the defense attorney, and Jordan was also a juror in that. And that's what's really interesting here, is because these were real juvenile cases, as you said, Kevin. They get an opportunity to be in a situation where they see one of their peers, maybe in a crisis scenario, or maybe in an unfortunate incident that will affect their lives going forward, be able to hear their story, be able to hear the other side of it also, and make decisions that will ultimately impact their peers. And knowing that it comes from someone that can see your life perspective, I would imagine that helps make it a little bit more real for the students and perhaps a little more palatable for those on the other side to see, hey, look, these are kids that are my age that maybe aren't having these issues, and I can learn a little bit from them in this process as well. So all good stuff from some of our local legal community. Kevin, on the other side, making history, you can have a chance to help others learn some of our local history with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. They open their doors at the Orchard Lake Museum at the corner of Orchard Lake and Long Lake multiple times every single month, so you can get a look at some of the trinkets of our local history, including things like the former sign from the Keego Harbor Theater. You can get a look at some trinkets of Native American history from the Kwandon Jewels collection there as well, and so much more from across the history of our four communities. They're looking for some new open house hosts to join them, to share some local information, share some history across our community at these open houses. Some of them that are just general open houses, and some of them that are a little more specific to certain topics. So if there's something you're interested in, or you're just interested in local history and helping to spread that throughout our community, if you're 18 or older, it's a good opportunity for you. The commitment's just 3 hours a month plus some training provided before you get to host one of your own open houses or lead one of the open houses at the Historical Society. In the meantime, you can contact Anna Smith with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, 248-757-2451. Again, that's 248-757-2451. Send an email to anna@gwbhs.org or visit their website at gwbhs.org as well. Kevin, a great opportunity for people to get involved, learn a little bit about their community's history, and hopefully pass that information on for years to come.
That's pretty much been the theme of some of the things that we've been talking about, the stories that we've shared, Tyler. Essentially, the best way to kind of learn about a system or to learn about something is to actually be integrated in it, to be part of it, to volunteer your time, to learn more about this. And this is just another great example of it. Learning more about local history also, and just helping out in a volunteer way. So kudos to the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society for even presenting this opportunity.
You can find them also on Facebook at GWBHS. They post plenty of pictures and stories from throughout our history. Some of those pictures, some of those stories you can learn even more about at the Orchard Lake Museum if you're a volunteer, or you go to their open houses for even more information. Kevin, one of the things that we will probably be tracking throughout our local history throughout the decades is our Walk for Friendship. One of the biggest events of the year gets a group of people from across Greater West Bloomfield, Metro Detroit, and beyond to walk across our community, all for a good cause, supporting the Friendship Circle of Michigan, located right here in West Bloomfield. And for those that have signed up for it, they can get their sign showing their support and their participation coming up very soon. Those pickup times are now officially scheduled. They will begin next week. Yard sign will tell everyone who passes by that you are committed to creating a community where people of all abilities belong, and that you are a proud advocate for the special needs community. That is a direct quote from the Friendship Circle of Michigan. Here are those pickup times. They all begin next week. Monday, August 19th, Monday and Tuesday of next week, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. And then Friday again, 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Those pickup times will occur. Now that you can find even more information by visiting the Friendship Circle of Michigan's Facebook page. That's facebook.com/FC Michigan, as we'll see those iconic purple signs that we always see on our roadside throughout this time of the year come up very soon, Kevin, and supporting a really good cause here in our community.
Really great cause. Also supporting our local residents who may have special needs right here in our community. It's also a way to kind of support them, let them know that we are here and we care for them also. So everything happening at a Friendship Circle, including the Walk for Friendship event, very, very important. And if we can get as many residents from the community out there to support, I think that'll make it even better, Tyler.
Yeah, again, more information on FC Michigan on Facebook is where you'll find all of that, as you can pick up those signs at their location on Maple Road, just across from Shulock Farm. There'll be plenty of more information on that on the Friendship Circle's Facebook page, as you can also sign up. There's a Google form they posted in that as well to sign up to get your sign and then go to your pickup location that's designated as well. Kevin, everyone across our community this time of the year, they're in back to school mode. We talked earlier on about some of the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math programs available in West Bloomfield. But for students to be able to put their best foot forward and really get the most out of their learning experience, they need to have the right supplies from the jump, the first day they get into school, and especially all throughout the year. And for many families, that may be taken for granted, but for some, it is a necessity they simply won't have on day one. Spirit of Grace Church, one of the many local organizations across our community, hoping to bridge those gaps this time of the year as they continue their school supply drive across our community, looking for backpacks, pencils, markers, folders, notebooks, all the essentials you need to have everything you need in the classroom on day one to be ready for your studies. Now, they're going to be allowing drop-off for these at their location at 2399 Figa Avenue, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. You can also drop off before or after their 10 a.m. Sunday worships every single week. Learn more about this at Spirit O' Grace on Facebook or by visiting spiritofgrace.church. Kevin, they have a big goal this time of the year. Every year they want to fill 20 backpacks for students before they go back. This year, their goal, 20 backpacks for boys, 20 backpacks for girls.
Right. Color neutral if possible, or just make them specific, girls or boys. 20 backpacks at the least. I think if we're able to provide more supplies, if people have extra backpacks bagged, please provide those also. I think it'll only do us great work for people who are in need right here in our local community.
And if those times for drop-off maybe aren't within your realm of possibility during your busy day and your busy lifestyle, there's so many other organizations doing very similar efforts that will help our students in the West Bloomfield School District and all of our other school districts across Greater West Bloomfield this time of the year. But Spirit of Grace is one of those leading the charge from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Just like that, we're out of time, Kevin. Got to get going. Plenty more on the Splash Live all throughout the week. In the meantime, people can go to our website, civiccentertv.com. Find us on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. And as always, find us on YouTube at Civic Center TV. For our entire team, Jake Schaff and Calvin Brown at Master Control and Kevin McIntosh, I'm Tyler Kieft. Thanks for tuning in to the Splash Live.